Okay, to get started we need appropriately sized gluons, a pair of tin snips, 80 grit sandpaper and a sanding block, disposable gloves, paper towels and denatured alcohol, Vet Tech cartridge gun, a cartridge of Adhere, mix nozzles, one per hoof and a spare per horse. Before we can glue the boots on, we must prepare the hooves. Preparation for glue-ons begins with a good natural trim.
The glue-ons have a radius on the inside of them just like our hoof boots to match the Mustang roll. So if you don't have this, if you have sharp hoof wall edges, you need to break that corner. A little bit of flare right there. Take that off.
The trim is complete. Now prepare the surface for glue. Using the smooth side of your rasp, clean off the face of the hoof wall.
You want to go all the way back to the heels. Stay away from the periopal. Keep at least a ½ inch away from the coronary band.
Sanding of the hoof walls is very important. Please do not skip this step. Understand that the glue will be making a physical bond, locking itself into the surface of the hoof, which is why I'm using sandpaper.
Heels are real important. Go all the way back. I go down around the Mustang roll a little bit. Stay about a ½ inch away from the coronary band.
Yeah, this is getting a little bit boring watching me sand away on the hoof walls, isn't it? I purposely left this sequence long to impress upon you how important this step is. Most bonding failures occur when this step is skipped.
Okay, also I'm going to do some sanding on the bottom, but not the sole, just the hoof wall. Okay, so now we want to check fit. For this horse I've selected size 1 because I know that's what size hoof boot he wears. He has contracted heels, so it's not a perfect fit, but I'll show you what we'll do about that.
And turning to the heels now, you can see we don't have a perfect fit, but the glue is very gap filling, so we'll just use a little bit of extra glue and everything will be just fine. And turning our attention to the toe, you can see we don't have a perfect fit here either. Actually, the glue is gap filling enough that we could take care of that with just a little extra glue, but I'll show you how to make some V-notches to make the glue flange more conformable. When you're going down a steep hill, there's a lot of pressure in the toe, so I do not recommend the use of a single V-notch in the toe. Instead, I prefer 2 V-notches. So, beginning at the top edge of the glue flange, make a mark down toward the first groove in the tread, and then make another mark about 1/2 inch short of the insole. This 2-notch method greatly enhances boot durability. Using the tin snips now, we're going to make our first cut. If the hoof walls were steeper than the glue flange angle, this would be good enough, just one cut, but because we want the glue flange to move inward, we'll go ahead and make a V-notch cut, which will allow some relief so that the glue flange can move inward and tightly against the hoof wall, which saves on glue. This modification will not be necessary on every installation, but it's nice to know that we have this sort of adaptability. At the factory, we pre-scuff the inside of the glue flange which enhances the mechanical bond of the adhesive. For most situations this is sufficient, but if your competition event is really important to you, then I suggest that you further scuff the inside with some 80 grit sandpaper. Understand that the bond that is taking place is a mechanical bond, whereby the glue is locking itself into the physical features of the surface. Therefore, scuffing the surface with sandpaper greatly enhances the strength of the bond. If your competition event is real important, do not skip this step. Okay, well, that's it for part 1. We'll see you in part 2.